Hey, it's Megan from Renewing All Things, and today's book summary and review of the key insights and takeaways is from Alisa Vitti and her book Woman Code, which is a book that I think that basically every woman should have or at least understand these main insights from her. And so the key insights from this book that I took away are basically the steps she outlines to balance your hormones and to balance your hormones from any problem you may be experiencing. So the steps are to stabilize your blood sugar, support your adrenals, support your organs of elimination, and then to begin doing some hormone synchronization. And I'll tell you what that is soon. Okay, so basically, in the beginning of the book, she just kind of outlines, basically, now more than ever in history, women are just struggling with hormonal issues from PCOS to infertility to PMS and mood swings, endometriosis, heavy or irregular or missing cycles. It's just an epidemic right now, and she herself struggled with PCOS. And she had terrible cystic acne and was overweight and had no idea what to do. And so she really dove into all this and started studying functional nutrition and how our body actually works and what our body actually needs to function and what we're doing to mess it up. And so she kind of reveals what we need to do and what we need to stop doing in order to heal from any of these things. And the truth is we can heal from infertility and PCOS and endometriosis if we give our body what it needs and take away what it doesn't. And that's what these 4 steps are about. Okay, so step 1 is to stabilize your blood sugar. And we talk about this all the time for balancing hormones because unstable blood sugar equals unbalanced hormones. So we know that. So when you eat meals high in sugar, your body secretes insulin and cortisol, which give you a quick rush of energy at first, but then it allows your body to store fat and crashes, so it gives you a bad mood and a crash in energy later. So when you have unbalanced blood sugar, your adrenals have to secrete cortisol because your body views that as a stressor. So when your body's secreting lots of cortisol, that throws off your sex hormones like estrogen, progesterone, and testosterone, which are the ones we really want to have in balance and want to have plenty of. But if our body's constantly making cortisol, it's not going to do that. So eating in a way that balances your blood sugar is critical for balanced hormones. Okay, so when you eat in a way to nourish your thyroid and adrenals and protect your sex hormones, balance mood and energy, and stop cravings. So this is the way you would eat. So imbalanced blood sugar causes anxiety. This is actually a major cause of anxiety. If you're having anxiety right now, really, really check your blood sugar in ways you might not be thinking about it affecting your mood. So anxiety and mood swings a lot with mood and how you feel. Weight gain, PMS, low libido, heavy or irregular periods, thyroid issues, basically any hormonal issue. So unbalanced blood sugar is caused by, or balance your blood sugar by not eating meals high in sugar and carbs. So that actually even looks like even just fruit juice, tons of fruit at one time, cereal, pasta, bread, all of these things that we don't maybe necessarily think of, they actually do spike our blood sugar really high and cause all of those problems. Also does drinking caffeine on a empty stomach. So if you just wake up and drink coffee first thing in the morning, so sorry, but that is just terrible for your lovely little hormones and your adrenals. So at least eat something before you have your coffee. And when you start your day, within an hour-ish of waking, if you can start it with a good amount of healthy fat and fiber and protein, then that stabilizes your blood sugar and gives you a good start for the whole day. So it makes you feel better for the rest of the day. And eating every 3 to 5 hours basically just making sure you're eating balanced meals. Like every meal should have a protein and fat and vegetables and a complex carb, just to keep your blood sugar super stable. All right, insight number 2, support your adrenals. So just to check in how your adrenals doing, how do you feel in the mornings when you get out of bed? Do you have a lot of energy when you get out of bed, or do you gotta drag yourself out of bed? Do you get stressed out easily? Do you have low energy? Do you have a low sex drive? These are all kind of signs of adrenal dysfunction, and that can be fixed. But it just kind of is a sign that your adrenals are producing not the right hormones that you want to produce and overproducing cortisol. So, your adrenal glands also produce DHEA, which is like the mother hormone to all of our other hormones like testosterone and cortisol and epinephrine, which is adrenaline, and dopamine. So, again, stuff that makes us feel good. So your adrenal glands are basically like your body's defense system against the stresses of daily life. So they're the ones that give the orders to your reproductive glands, and your metabolism and your fight or flight response. Okay, so basically when you're dealing with a lot of stress, your adrenal glands overproduce cortisol. And when your body is overproducing cortisol, that means it's not making the other hormones it needs to, like progesterone, which is your calming, feel-good, awesome hormone. So basically, if your adrenals are always thinking it's in fight or flight based on all your stress, then it's not giving correct orders to your reproductive system. So you really, really need to work on how to manage the internal and external stressors, because if you don't, then that's why your reproductive system is not working, because your adrenal glands aren't sending it the signals it needs because they're too preoccupied pumping out cortisol to keep you safe. Okay, so cortisol also inhibits production of DHEA, which we said was the mother hormone, which is from many of the hormones that support your menstrual cycle. So it makes a lot of the other hormones that support your menstrual cycle, your energy levels, and your libido. So again, if you're stressed all the time, you're just making cortisol and you're not making other things that you need. So, like I said, we need to learn how to manage our internal and external stressors so our body's not in this fight or flight all the time, which is when our hormonal system shut down. When you're in fight or flight, you're not making any hormones. Your hormone system's broken down. And so internal and external stressors. So those can be everything from the food you're eating is a stressor to your body. So like sugar and caffeine and vegetable oils, GMOs, pesticides, all of that is a huge stressor to your body. Medications, birth control, which she does go into a lot. I'm not going to go into that a lot right now, but I would definitely check out her book if you're wondering if you should be on birth control or not. Life stress. Okay, so then we actually have life stress. So we have physical stressors like the food we're eating and the water we're drinking and everything like that. But we also have mental and spiritual stressors like our family, our work, our money. All of that obviously can stress us out. And actually exercise. If you're a really stressed out person and you're also exercising a lot on top of that, your hormones, that's very stressful to your body, and your body creates cortisol again instead of the endorphins that you want. So we need to watch that. So we really need to learn how to, and I go into a lot of the other stuff about how we can manage life stresses like family and work without shutting our hormonal system down in my program called Balancing Your Mind and Hormones, because our mind is just such an important part of our hormones. Okay, so what do you eat to nurture your adrenals? Well, an anti-inflammatory diet, which we talk about a lot, basically organic, clean fruits, vegetables, meats, nuts, and really, really just avoiding the things like vegetable oils, GMO, pesticides, sugar, and caffeine. Balancing your blood sugar is really important for your adrenals, like I said. So if if your blood sugar's off, your body senses that it's stressed, and that's when your adrenals make cortisol. So balancing our blood sugar is really important. Relaxation and breathing daily. So that just helps. Just taking quiet, just stop in front of your day, in the middle of your day, throughout your day, just to like breathe and reset, which will help reset your hormones. And when you are stressed and when you are in times of stress, she does talk about a lot of the things you can eat and supplement with to kind of help your body cope with that. So a lot of adaptogens like ashwagandha and holy basil. And of course B vitamins, because B vitamins are extremely important in every hormonal chemical reaction in your body. So when you're stressed, taking some adaptogens and B vitamins can actually help your body out a lot. All right, number 3, to balance your hormones and heal from any hormonal problem you're having, is support your organs of elimination. Okay, so basically what your organs of elimination are your liver and your intestines and your gut, which you might not realize are an extremely important part of your hormonal and reproductive system, because these are the organs that pull toxins out of your body, that pull excess hormones out of your body, and when excess hormones and toxins build up, that's when hormonal problems happen. So if your liver's burdened, if your gut's burdened, if you're constipated, if you're not detoxing enough and eliminating enough, then you're just going to get a buildup of toxins and hormones that are going to begin to cause problems. So estrogen dominance, we talk about a lot also, is the main cause of a lot of hormonal issues, like PMS and mood swings and acne and weight gain, low libido. Pretty much every hormonal imbalance is estrogen dominance. And that's just when estrogen builds up in your bloodstream because it's not being able to be eliminated by your liver and out through your bowels if you're all backed up, which a lot of women are these days. So when estrogen is dominant to progesterone, that's when you start having really bad PMS and all the problems that come along with that. So basically, we need to make sure we're eliminating through the bathroom and supporting our organs of elimination to get all of those excess hormones and toxins out. Okay, so how do you do this? So we need to get rid of estrogen and daily waste by avoiding toxic personal care products. So she talks about this a lot, because we know that whatever you put in your skin is absorbed into your bloodstream in 30 seconds, and a lot of mainstream products right now that we're putting on our skin and our shampoos and our lotions and our creams and makeup contain things called xenoestrogens, which basically mimic estrogen in your body, which gives you more estrogen again, which then causes you to be estrogen dominant and causes all of these problems. So what you put on your skin and what personal products you use is actually very important to your hormonal balance. And also, we need to avoid, like I said, inflammatory foods, vegetable oils, factory farm animal products, sugar, tap water, GMOs, medication. All of this is just toxins to your body, and when you just keep giving your body toxins, then they're just building up and you can't eliminate, and then that causes problems. So again, to support your organs of elimination, it's kind of like nurturing your adrenals. So to eliminate well, we need to eat an anti-inflammatory diet, drink lots of water every day because water will help flush everything out. Eat plenty of vegetables because a lot of women just simply aren't getting enough fiber, which is why they're not eliminating enough. So tons of vegetables, especially cruciferous vegetables, because those contain things called indole-3 carbinol, which actually help detox estrogen specifically. And then just things like apple cider vinegar is really great for your hormones. And again, just doing one thing that relaxes you and brings you pleasure, because when you're stressed out, your body doesn't really want to eliminate either. So that was kind of fast going through that, but this is kind of the unique part she brings to balancing your hormones. So hormone synchronization, I'll go into what that means. So basically, as women, we go through 4 phases each month. In each phase, our brain, hormones, and body are completely different. So basically, this means that we have different levels of energy and athletic ability. We have different social needs. We have different creative and thinking abilities. And we have different nutritional needs based on which phase we're in. And there's 4 phases, so we need to eat differently, think differently, do different things based on which phase we're in, basically to help our life be easier. So why do we constantly exercise the same and eat the same all throughout the month if our body's actually changing and needs different stuff, right? So instead of letting our hormones work against us through the monthly cycle, we can actually begin to work with it and do certain activities and support our body in different ways at different times of the month to maximize our brain chemistry and potential and just make our life a lot easier. It's really fun when you start kind of learning all of this. So I'm going to quickly go through the 4 phases. And this is just a really, really quick look. I have a detailed blog post about this that you should for sure go check out because it gives you more details about what to do in each phase. But this is just a quick overview of it. So the 4 phases. So the first phase that you go through is your follicular phase. So your follicular phase starts after your menstrual period ends. So in this phase, it's when your energy starts to increase more. So this is a good time to actually do a little bit more challenging workouts and weights and HIIT stuff. It's a really good time to actually start new projects and goals and inspiration. And it's a really good time to start eating sprouted and fermented foods to kind of help prepare your body to go through the rest of the phases. So phase 2 is your ovulatory phase. So when you're ovulating, that phase, that week that you're ovulating, that time frame, this is when you're going to feel kind of the most outgoing and social and actually wanting to hang out with people and do a lot of things, and you'll have the most energy. So again, you can do harder workouts, more social events, and it's really good to start eating just as much raw foods as possible just to kind of help support your body's elimination for the other 2 cycles, because that's when they get back up. So you're kind of just getting ahead of the curveball by doing that. Then after you ovulate, then you go into your luteal phase. And your luteal phase, that's kind of when your energy starts to decrease a little bit. So it's a really good time to actually, our brain is wired then to kind of nest and take care of just errands and housework that you've been meaning to do. Start doing a little bit more low impact exercises, and then if you can start eating more foods that are richer in B vitamins, magnesium, and fiber, that's really going to help that's really going to help PMS, basically prevent PMS. So after your luteal phase, that's when you have your period, so your menstrual phase. So typically when you're on your period is when you have the lowest energy, right? But this is the coolest thing she talks about, and that I've actually been researching in other areas, is when women are actually on their period, their right and left hemisphere of their brain is more connected than any other time of the month. So you're basically able to see your life in a different way during this week to evaluate okay, what's working for me, what's not, what do I need to stop doing, what do I need to give up, what do I need to maybe start doing. It's just a really good time for self-reflection and evaluation, just based on how your brain chemistry is at that time. So next time you're on your period, use that time to actually evaluate your life and see what needs to change, because you might have more insights and revelations at that time than any other time in the month. which is awesome. So, and it's also a good time just to support your body. So instead of trying to like do these hardcore workouts on your period, do more restorative exercises like just Pilates and yoga and stretching and walking a lot. Just stuff that will help your body feel good is amazing during this time. And it's really, really good to focus on minerals in this time, so all your micronutrients and minerals, to kind of restore everything that you're losing and to support, just to give your body the building blocks it needs to create the hormonal reactions in the right way. So it's a good time just to focus on good, healthy fats. Like cooked vegetables and root vegetables are great at stabilizing your mood and cravings. Because a lot of times if you're not eating enough protein and fat, then you crave sugar. So if you eat enough protein and fat, you can kind of get rid of your cravings, which is great. So it's really cool if you can kind of start eating differently in the 4 phases. Each one lasts roughly a week. Obviously, you only ovulate for a couple days, but just roughly, if you can think about it like this, it's amazing how much you can get more done, and feel best if you kind of follow this outline. Okay. So basically the key insights and takeaways you can start doing today based on the 4 steps to balance your hormones is these are very powerful steps that if you start doing today, any hormonal problem you're dealing with will significantly be improved. So eating an anti-inflammatory diet, which if you go on, I have a list of foods to eat and to not eat, and what if anti-inflammatory diet is on renewingallthings.com if you want to look at that. But an anti-inflammatory diet, but it's really important about how you eat it. So you gotta eat it in a way that balances your blood sugar. So basically that means try to have every meal have a protein, fat, fiber, and complex carb, and then I can give you examples of what each one of those are if you need that. Makes a huge difference in how you feel and your energy and your mood and your libido, everything. So balancing your blood sugar is huge when you eat that way. If you drink 1/2 your ounces of body water, 1/2 ounces of water of your body weight a day, that is amazing because it helps support your organs of elimination to flush out toxins and excess hormones. And then what's really important is just to take a little time each day to do something that kind of relaxes you and resets your hormones. That could be going for a walk or taking a nap or whatever, honestly, just brings you joy, meeting with a friend, whatever it is. Just being intentional about scheduling that time in because your hormones really do need it. And when you are under times of stress that you really can't avoid, if you want to supplement with some good B vitamins and high vitamin C, liposomal vitamin C is awesome, and adaptogens, and when you're stressed, that can actually just help support your adrenals and your hormones during those times. So basically, just eat vegetables at every meal. Eat vegetables at every meal, which will support your liver. Drink lots of water, which will support your liver and your gut and your microbiome. And avoid xenoestrogen. So switch to natural personal care products. That's overlooked, but they really are messing up your hormones if you're using if you put on lotions and makeups and shampoos and toothpaste every day that have all these xenoestrogens and chemicals in them. You're not doing your hormones a favor. So switch to natural personal care products. And then just start experimenting with cycle syncing and hormone synchronization. So do activities that are best for your body at certain times of the month. So exercise, do different exercises at different times of the month. Eat differently at different times of the month. Do different creative tasks and work tasks at different times of the month, even social tasks. And just start seeing how much better you feel and how much easier things actually can be. All right, that was a quick review of the main insights from Woman Code by Alisa Vitti, and I wrote a whole blog post kind of detailing all of this more if you want to grab that at renewingallthings.com, and just look for Renewing All Things, Alisa Vitti Woman Code, and you can get all of that with all the links I mentioned. And we will see you next time.